Good morning, traders. Richard here doing a quick point and figure chart update on the Nasdaq Composite. I've got the 50 by 3 point and figure chart up here. It's 50 box size, 3 box reversal, which means a 150 point drop to the downside will signal the end of the current trend. And now recently the Nasdaq took out the 15,200 and then the 15,350 upside point and figure chart targets. The 15,950 was also recently met, and the next one is 16,150. Now it will be interesting to see if the Nasdaq's going to be able to break past this 16,000 with sustained volume. But so far so good. Now if we just look at this high here, that point and figure chart target, the next one is 16,950, another 6% higher if we get past these the 16,000, if it breaks past that zone. Now the other way to look at this, if we get past this particular zone, there's an 18% rally in store, but I do think that we will see a significant consolidation after this very extended move. If we look back and see how far this market's come, it's met a multitude of targets, and I think it's going to be a very difficult struggle to get to these upside targets of 18,850 and 18,000. So there's upside potential of another 13 to 18%, but we're not sure if this will be at the end of next year, for example. But so far, market struggling a little bit to get past the 16,000. It did meet all these targets to the upside. There's 116, 150, and the next ones are quite far away. So I'm not entirely sure if we'll get there without a significant consolidation. The first downside risk is back to 15.7, this trend line support level. If that fails, then the Nasdaq can go down as much as another 5.4% to 15,050, and that coincides with this kind of 15,000 significant support zone on a point and figure chart basis. So there's still a risk of a 5 to 6% correction from the current levels. And if the Nasdaq starts to trend down and breaks past this low here, 15,650, that would activate this 15,050 point and figure chart target. But if we get a breakout past the 16,000, 16,150 is the next target, and 16,950, another 6% away, is the next, probably the year-end target in the Nasdaq Composite. But I do think we might see a bit of a consolidation in and around this level. Turning to the 100 by 3 Nasdaq Composite point and figure chart, meaning a 300 point drop to the downside will signal the end of the current trend. We've had a fantastic rally. The Nasdaq hit the 14,000, 14,400, 15,100 and 15,800 upside point and figure chart targets. The next one is 16,300. And if we get past the 16,000, we'll hit 16,300, and then the other targets are much higher, 17,300 and 17,900, 8 and 12% upside. So these might be year-end targets or targets for Q1 of next year. But I do expect some form of a consolidation. We're almost completing an upward continuation pattern here. So it'll be interesting to see if we're going to break past that 16,000. If the resistance holds, then we could come back to the this 15,000, 4,800, and there's a downside risk target of a 22% correction down to 12,300 if we get past this low. Yeah, that target will only be activated if the market drops below 14,300. But what we're watching out for now is a 300 point downside move. When there's a O next to the X there, that'll start to signal that the current trend is ending and we're getting a consolidation move. Now the trend lines are still up from a point figure chart perspective, and the 14,400, this 15,000, that is a major trend line support zone for the Nasdaq. But if the consolidation starts, we'll see 15,300 being tested, and then 14,800 being tested, and that coincides well with this downside trend line support zone. So be on the lookout for that. Any kind of 300 point reversal to the downside will move us to cash in terms of trading the Nasdaq, for example. But provided it breaks past the 16,000, the next upside target is 16,300, and that's the target to watch out for. Still set for a year-end rally, but I do expect some form of a consolidation along the way over the next couple of weeks. Until next time, happy point and figure chart trading. Bye for now.